Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back down here in Porchville. How you doing?
Yeah!
Hell yeah! What's up, man?
Woo!
How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Shawn Manley's in the house tonight. First time here.
Shawn Manley.
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Just
First
another
time.
day in Gainesville and first day in Porchville.
Yeah. How does it feel to be on this side of the mic? Because last time we did this, you were on this side.
Yeah, I was over there.
That was a long time ago. 40 Meltdown. You still doing that?
No, not for a while.
Yeah.
Not for a while, no. Yeah, I do miss the Grow Radio days. The thing about that was I decided to quit for a little bit and kind of get back with my life, and then we had some misfits that were in the Grow Radio station, and it was always at night.
Yeah.
But the thing is they would just leave evidence in the morning, like, and everyone would have a beer or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, they were pretty rowdy, and so we ended up getting an email, and Bill Bryson over at Grow Radio was like, "I've had enough. I warned you like a dozen times. I've had enough." So, and then I was like, "Oh crap, man! I want to get back into this again."
Yeah.
So, I've actually been talking to WGOT as well. So they want me to come over.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. It'd be FM radio.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and have you thought about doing something like this? Podcasting, man. See, everybody's doing it these days, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're even doing it. And who the fuck are we?
Right.
Yeah.
Could be a fun thing. I'm sure you got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you're seriously one of the hardest working motherfuckers I've seen. Like, you're always out there working on stage somewhere. How many gigs on average do you do? Like in a over, let's say an average year, like 2019. How many shows were you running that year?
Well, I will say that back in 2016, I wanted to make a goal of playing 100.
Yeah.
And I started looking back, and I'm like, maybe I played 50-something or whatever. It was like 70-something, and then it was 50-something. I'm like, I want to play 100.
Yeah.
So I got to do it last show, New Year's Eve, brought in the new year with 100 shows, drinking champagne, and that was great. But so then after that, it grew, and I will say that it got to, I think, 173 shows in 2019.
Damn.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So it went from like 100, 129, 150 something, and then 173. So like, I don't know, 2020.
You had to have been pretty optimistic going into 2020 then.
I just like everyone else, I thought it was going to be my year too.
Yeah.
There
was something about it. There was something about it in the air. Like 2020, like it's a big, bold fucking year,
We should have known it was gonna end up being a disaster anyway. It
was like go big or bust.
Oh.
And we busted.
Yeah.
We all busted.
Jesus.
But I got my passport, and my whole thing was I wanted to play music abroad somehow, some way.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it. I didn't care if it was Canada, if it was Europe, if it was New Zealand, if it was Amsterdam, if it was Costa Rica, if it was on a boat somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to just try it, and I was like, oh my God, then the lockdown came.
Yeah, and now like going abroad anywhere is pretty much impossible if you're from America. I mean, are we even allowed to go to Mexico?
I don't think Mexico wants us. I don't think it's against the law. I think they just don't want us.
I think they're just like, y'all stay the fuck up there.
I was like, you remember that orange guy? Yeah. No.
So it ended up that March hits, the pandemic hits, and we're talking about going from like I quit my job. I'm playing music full time.
And you had quit your job at that point?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then it was like, then I looked at my schedule and then April, I do an Excel spreadsheet for like all my gigs. And so just seeing zero for like my earnings for April, and I'm
just
like,
spider webs and crickets.
yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
Exactly. So
That's gotta hurt.
yeah,
I mean, that's gotta sting. Seriously.
yeah.
Because
So,
I mean, I know you've been doing this a long time. And I know you love doing it.
but it was like April 1st. I got my old job back over at Parks Place, Tim and Terry's. I've always loved being there.
That's a great spot.
Yeah.
I used to know a guy named Alan who was a drummer. He used to work the counter at Tim and Terry's, and he was a drummer for a band. How long have you been in Gainesville?
Forever.
Yeah. You remember Daughters of the Revolution?
I've heard the name, yeah.
George Kozlinski, Steve Landis on bass. Danny Landis' brother. You know the Landis brothers.
Yeah, I know the Landises. I
Landis.
played Landis Fest one year.
Oh, did you? So you know. And Alan, I don't remember Alan's last name, but there are actually some Daughters of the Revolution original CDs floating around that I've been able to get my hands on. So we're gonna play some of that music at some point in the near future shows. But yeah, they're just a fantastic band. One of those bands that were really, really big around town in like 99, 2000.
I was in high school.
Oh yeah. I think I was just fresh out, a couple years out.
There, I would see like Sleepy Odie shirts on high school kids. I remember seeing that, but I guess when I turned 18, I went and checked out a show at Common Grounds.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that was cool. Like, first show ever, it was these two bands, Squeaky and Pop Cannon. It was
I remember Pop
show.
Cannon.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's wild.
They were a trip. And yeah, so that's when I got into the local music scene, and then the Purple Porpoise. That was the next thing.
God rest its soul.
Yeah.
Man. That place was fantastic.
And that's where I first saw Holidays play.
Oh man, really?
Yeah,
Way back then.
And then
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then the next spot was Eddie C's.
You saw me when I had a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Do you guys need a moment here?
Back when I used to wear my shirt like open and oh jeez, it was terrible.
Back
Lord.
before you got fat and hairy.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
grew a beard. Back in the good old days. That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, so I'll tell you what ended up happening though with going from like zero income, getting my old job back. Well, I got this opportunity to work over at Acura Wood downtown, and it's architectural wood mill. The projects are for $750,000 and up.
Damn.
And I'm in there, at $12 an hour. But I'll tell you, like, I am getting a full-on education in all of this. Like, so I'm working in estimating, and I'm working with the engineers.
Right.
So I get to see all these real numbers. But the latest project was the Aston Martin Residences.
Oh shit.
In Miami, Florida. And I did a door package. Like, I worked on that, and it was for the amenities floors. So we're talking about like they're advertising this right now, like, under construction, live like James Bond. Feel like James Bond when you come here. So it's
interesting.
Like the condos go from like $800,000 to $30 million. Actually, $50 million. I'm sorry, it's $50 million dollars.
Could you imagine having that much to buy a house?
Yeah.
Like just to buy a fucking house. Like, man.
Sign me up. When does it open?
It said
this podcast is going to go huge any day now.
This year, 2020.
We're banking on it. We're banking on it.
Oh man,
we're going to split the rent.
That's right.
Yeah, the average one there is like $5 million.
Holy shit!
And I think the penthouses, which there's like 7 of them probably, and then the triplex, which has like the main penthouse on the top. It actually has a swimming pool that goes over the edge on like the 60th
That sounds
floor.
slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you know,
Count me out of that one.
overlooking the ocean, you have the Atlantic Ocean, 65 floors
I would
down.
just rather go swimming in the ocean. Why would I have to go swimming on a skyscraper?
I believe 1,000%. If you ended up in a pool like that on a 64th floor, I 100% believe that you would not make it.
I would die.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Every ounce of my soul. Florida man, yeah, plummets 64 stories to his death.
Oh, no. Florida man would walk out and see how high up he was, and he would die of an aneurysm.
Oh, there's that. I kind of imagined you like somehow with the pool and all that stuff.
No, I wouldn't make
Bath
it that
salts.
far. I would not make it that far. Bath salts. Yeah. That might help with my vertigo. That might.
Well, so that's pretty awesome. You're getting like, just learning a whole new industry.
So, what I've been doing for this last thing, I did the doors for the amenities, which were like indoor pools, saunas, 2 movie theaters, a gymnasium, and just all types of fun stuff. This is the Aston Martin building, like the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real deal, I'm sure. Just a name like that,
Yeah.
It's the DB9.
So these units, the residences and condos, I've just been measuring baseboard on the computer. It took me 2 days and I ended up, I'll just say it was almost $1.5 million in baseboard. If we just threw in just a number, let's just say it was $8 a foot. So I don't know what the reverse math is. I forgot
it's
how
a
much
lot.
baseboard that was.
Well, this sounds like it's something that you're enjoying doing, though.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
How does one fall into that kind of a position, like to get a job like that? I mean, like you're a musician and everything like that, and then all of a sudden you're designing James Bond's mansion.
Right?
It's a fantastic way of putting it.
Yeah, it's all about who you know. It's networking, I guess, it's the key to success. And in my case, I had a really good friend. I've had him on the radio at 40 Meltdown, and he would spin records. He's got a massive record collection, and he really takes care of his stuff. And he has everything from like, he really likes all the Ipecac stuff. So he has like, Faith No More, and like, so I don't know. Anyways, so he goes by He with the Hat, and he's definitely my brother, and it was so cool because he's like, yeah, I think we could use someone to help out around here. And it's like, okay. So I go in for this interview, and I just try to put together the best resume ever, and I got the job and just got thrown into it. It's like my first office job ever.
That's awesome.
And now I'm working on James Bond's hotel room.
That's dope, man.
Yep.
And it's cool because, like you said, it's obviously something that you've fallen in love with doing. And
yep. And I get to do music again.
Yeah.
Like it came back, and
so now, how are you back up to full capacity? Is it playing as much as you were, or is it still ramping up?
I'm playing less and making more.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's more of a demand to get people back out there? And,
Maybe, but I'm finding the gigs, so.
Yeah. That's dope.
So what you're saying is, like, if you want to make big money, you have to be James Bond's architect.
Exactly. That's the trick.
Definitely it.
That's where I made the mistake. That's where I made.
That's it?
That was the one. That was the one mistake. I never designed a home for James Bond. Damn it.
Well,
I thought I was doing good.
So, anyways, I brought a couple tapes for you.
yeah, man. Yeah, we got a few tracks here. Tell me about it.
Okay.
What's here? I made them into a folder. So we've got which one do you want to listen to first?
I actually wanna hear the holidays interview.
Oh, you want to hit that?
Yeah. So it's like back from 2012.
All right.
Whenever I had you guys on the show, and so by the way, like being out here on the porch,
Yeah.
like I don't know, I feel like if I could think of influences, maybe Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. For sure. We get that. We get
Yeah.
that comparison a little bit. You know, but that's sort of you know.
I don't get that comparison. People are like, all right, it's kind of like Joe Rogan plus that other guy. Who the fuck is he talking about?
Well,
Like,
the idea of a long format is brilliant. You know, I think more and more people just want to hear people hanging out and talking. You know, talking about whatever and
like the shit show.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
sort of what we do. Is like we're just hanging out, bullshit, and talking about whatever.
I'm just wondering
wherever the day takes us.
if you had any other influences along the way, you know.
Well,
Like there might have been, you know, one time at Grow Radio and you had your band out there. But.
I've actually been involved with radio since I was about 18 in Fort Myers. I got
cool.
involved in a radio show, and it was for a teen theater. We used to do like peer mediation and education, and I was a part of this acting group that through
You fucking nerd.
Planned Parenthood. Total nerd. Sponsored by like Planned Parenthood, and they'd send us out into the schools, and you know we'd put on these performances about don't get pregnant, Susie, and this is that kind of shit. And
This is coming from Nick.
And
Nick.
this evolved into a couple years later. They said, well, we'd like to do a radio show, and we want
That's
to
a
buy.
novel idea.
We want to buy an hour on Sunday morning. It was a terrible spot. It was like Sunday morning at 10. Nobody's fucking listening. At 10 o'clock to the shit we're talking about. But we got to play a few songs and everything. So they said, well, would you be interested in doing it? I said, yeah, you know what? I'd love to do it. And, but I said, I just want to, all I want to do though, is I just want to interview local musicians and, talk about, what they're doing and where they're going. And so it's funny because that's what I'm doing here now, all these years later, but that's what I wanted to do that. And so I got to go out and interview some local bands,
Now, did they go along with it? Or were they like, yeah, stay out of trouble, kids?
No. It was that was the funny thing was that the shit I was doing was just not related to the other stuff at all. So they would have little the hosts would have parts that they would sort of read and like, all right, kids, this that. I don't think they talk that condescendingly to them, but
Hey, kids, let's rap.
So they but I would play my music
Some
spot.
Beavis and Butthead.
And eventually, right before the first show happened, there was two hosts. The male host quit, and so they said, well, hey, would you like to step in? And by this time, like, I'm feeling this radio thing. I'm digging it. So I had been in the studio working and just, doing editing and shit like that. So I was having fun with it. I said, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll do it. And they gave me a script. And they said, this is what you're going to read. And I said, okay, no problem. So the day of the show, the first show, I go on to intro a song. And prior to the song, they're talking about flavored condoms and how you can use them
Condoms.
if you're, so you can be safe when you're having oral sex.
How about camouflage condoms? Because you'll never see them coming.
my job
Nailed it.
my job at that point was to read the script and say, I came in and I said, speaking of oral sex, here's Bush with Swallowed. And we ran Bush.
Wow.
That was it. the phone fucking lit up. They wanted me off
Yeah,
the
they
show.
did.
The sponsors, they wanted me off the show. Her name was like Mary Ellen or some
That's brilliant.
cunt of a name. I don't fucking know that bitch. But so they wanted me off the show. So I was done. That was that. And so I said, well, I'll just go back to doing the local music thing. And they said, okay, you can do that. So
Yeah, you didn't want me for that other thing.
so a couple months go by, several shows happen. They don't know if they're going to renew for a second, re-up.
But
or
someone
whatever.
else wrote that line. Like, who would have pulled that off?
Yeah, what do I know? I was just there, reading the shit that they handed me. I thought it was bullshit that they kicked me off, but I was like, all right, whatever. At least I get to still do my thing. After that, the show went on for several months, and the last show of the season, they said, well, hey, do you want to come on one last time for the last show of the season? And because we're going to play Bush Swallow. They had to pre-plan the songs that they were going to play. So they said, do you want to come on and would you like
They wanted you to come back
They
and do
said,
it
would
again.
you like to just come on and intro this song? And I said, well, of course. Of course I would. So the girls go, all right, hey, it's about that time. It's all right. Yeah. They said, here's our old pal, and I had my radio name was Doc Mojo. I loved it. Doc Mojo. So
I did not know that about you.
that was my radio name.
Doc Mojo.
Doc Mojo. So the girl says, she says, well, hey, all right, we're going to bring in our old pal Doc Mojo to intro this next song. And I said, hey, how's everybody doing? This next song is a song that's very near and dear to my heart. Here's Bush with Swallowed. And then we ran the song, and the fucking phones lit up again, and they called and they said, he's never to be on the radio. I was like, what the fuck, man?
You didn't even break the rules that time.
I didn't even do anything.
You just reminded them, and it was just that.
But that was that, and they did not renew the show. That was the end of it. I could have stuck with it at that point, and probably done it for a little bit. I knew the owner of the radio station and everything, and several of the DJs, and I was twisted in the wind. I was an 18-year-old kid, no fucking direction in the world, had no idea what I was doing. And then I ended up in Gainesville, and then I ended up, in a band and did that for a long time. And pretty much as soon as that ended, we were like, let's do, back to this. So that's pretty much the trajectory.
So basically what you're saying is that fate led you to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Craigslist, you fucking home.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So how about this old interview? So
Yes.
this is back when I was interviewing you guys.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome. My style's a little different.
Yeah.
I do like sitting down and hearing it in the headphones here. I love your
like
mic
that?
setup
Yeah.
here. Yeah, man.
Oh man, we went for it. We just wanted it to be relaxed.
Yeah.
and all that good
But
stuff. So
The one cool thing, I don't know if you noticed, is that no one was wearing headphones at Grow Radio.
yeah.
So like some of the DJs, they would come in and they'd put their headphones on, they'd get their coffee or beer or whatever, and they'd be like, all right.
Coffee or beer, your choice.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was one or the other,
Yeah.
We always did. We did it because
Or the flask.
It balances everybody out. We had several incarnations of the show when we started, and trying to figure out how we were going to put this together. And because the idea was initially, you've been to the porch before. It's just good times, hanging out, bullshitting. Watching the fucking sun.
Yeah,
come
we
up
hung out
sometimes,
and we played Cards Against Humanity on a different porch.
Yeah, that's the old porch. Yeah, and initially it was like we just stuck a fucking mic in the middle of the table, and it was a bunch of people talking. That was a terrible idea for for actually listening to. So then we started refining how we were doing it. Came up with this. Initially I was the only one with the headphones, and everybody's all over the place. But so it was slowly realizing, okay, this is how in the headphones just sort of equalize everybody.
This
so,
setup's ideal.
It's great.
And
it's great. We love it.
yeah, I like how and it's still just the table and the porch, but it's also the studio.
Yeah. It's dope, man. It's dope. All right, let's check this out. Let's hear.
Hollow Days 2012 and 40 Meltdown.
And go.
We're about to go to the fourth dimension, by the way.
As long as it opens.
Yep. As long as it opens.
The gates of hell.
Okay. What am I doing here? It's not opening.
Do we need a new sound guy?
So I was definitely saying how, like, I didn't use headphones. Well, the speakers were way up above.
Yeah.
And that room was like an old laundry room. And then, they put, like, the 2 turntables and the microphone and, basically anything you wanted to do there. We had... So I had the microphone and I was kind of going back and forth. But you'll see how that ends up sounding.
I'll try something else here.
This part will get edited out at some point.
Probably not. I'm gonna have to.
I remember this from like one of your last shows. By the way,
I'm gonna have to figure out why that's not playing.
So,
it
by
may
the
not have
way,
copied the whole fucking file over like it was supposed to. So
you saw the shirt. I can't read that either, but it says Nibiru.
Oh, it's
Nibiru.
Dude.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at the design. I'm like, I don't know what it says, but it's a cool design.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nibiru. Dude, that was awesome that they gave me a copy of that CD.
Hell yeah. We're gonna I'm gonna play a little piece of this here real quick. And then I think we're just gonna hit pause and I'm gonna try to pull those files over again, make sure I got them, and then we'll come back but this was actually part of the documentary that was done.
I hope some of you guys are listening in today to a radio show called 40 Meltdown.
We got Hollow Days in the station right now. You guys are playing a show tonight?
Yeah, man, we're down at High Dive, which is formerly Double Down.
This is just a
formerly
clip.
Common Ground, which is formerly the Covered Dish. But we're super pumped up because we have been around since we started in 2001.
And then I quit. And so then we actually broke it up. It's like a 5-minute little documentary, involving the...
Dude, that is
40
nuts.
Meltdown.
I have seen that thing before, and I never realized that was you.
Yeah.
It's
because they spelled my name wrong.
Oh,
Did he?
That's what it is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jason Phillips. If you're listening. All right, I'm gonna do this
Jason
rare
probably
thing.
is listening right now.
I
I think
hope
it
so.
says scene.
Well, not right now, but when it gets released, he's probably going to be listening.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the... I'm gonna hit pause. Are you ready? Let's hope we make it back.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Should I just sit
Pray.
here? Should I just be quiet?
Shalom.
All right, I'll shalom.
Okay. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Woo! It's recording.
Am I allowed to talk again?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right, so we've got it all lined out now. So we're gonna get back to this this interview. This is you and interviewing me in Hollow Days way back when. So here we go.
You are now entering the fourth dimension.
We got Hollow Days in the station right now.
It's we started in 2001. But yeah, we're old. But we broke up in 2008, early 2008, because our drummer moved to Austin, Texas, and it just isn't. I mean, he needs to be a part of this, but it's going to be holidays. So we did a reunion show last year just on a whim, and it was beautiful. We had a big packed house. We got drunk. It was well, really bad, but we still kicked ass. We still had a great time. So now Luke is back in town, and this is our first show, and this isn't a reunion show. This isn't a one-time deal. We're back. This is good. Yeah.
This band was like family, and I guess whenever you lost Luke, it was like, you know, losing your brother. It's like, how are you gonna?
It just didn't really seem like there was really any reason to keep doing it. You know, it takes a lot of work to train a new member of a band, especially you know when you don't have the time that we used to put into it, and so to try to turn around and bring somebody else in, train them in, it just wasn't, you know, we just didn't feel that there was any reason for it, and we didn't figure we were going to find anybody better than Luke to do the job.
True story. This is Without a Name, a Hollow Days.
I was Hollow Days without a name. What was that? What
Shit.
was that going to be called?
Well, there's some lyrics in the song that are actually, you know, it talks about, you know, being a face without a name, and so when we went to name it after having put those lyrics to it, you know, we called it the No Name song or something like that for, you know, a month, and then when we decided, we'll just take some lyrics out of the song there and use that for the title, we just thought, well, it's kind of what we've been calling it, so we'll just kind of keep it without a name, and just kind of stuck. So
That sounds a lot better than No Name song. So we're talking about some crazy stuff during the break. I wanted you to bring up some of these stories. There was one with a dead dog and a hooker. Wait, what was going on with that?
It was a dog. It was definitely a dog. Well,
I only wish Jeremy Llewellyn was listening to this up there in Boston.
So here's the deal. We're on the way. We're doing a show in Orlando. We're rolling down. The sun is shining. Everybody's in a great mood.
I love this story.
We're on a pretty busy highway. It wasn't the interstate, but we were kind of slowing down to hit a light, and there's a dog laying right by the side of the road, and the other guys were like, "Oh, look at that dog." It's like, nah, dude, that dog is just sleeping. But it had like flies and brains and stuff. So
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
So we were like, you know,
tell the kids.
I think we were drinking. This is when we were,
yeah, we used to drink on the road a lot. At some point in the conversation, it turned to we should bring him on stage as our mascot. We named him Skippy.
Okay.
And you know, I mean, when you've got you know 4 guys like us in a car, you know, for several hours, mixing a little bit of beer. Next thing you know, you're talking about, you know, swinging him around on stage by his leashes. I mean, totally. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. You know.
So how long did it take before the dog ended up in the trunk of the car?
You know, we actually kept going. Thankfully to Jeremy on that one, which was Jeremy was the guy who used to play bass with us. Yeah, luckily he was the smart one and said, no, we're not putting the dog on stage, but seemed like a good idea at the time. Long live Skippy.
That's pretty fucked up, dude.
You know what? You should tell them the story about playing the strip club.
Oh God.
I'm not telling. So here's the deal. We used to play up in Jacksonville all the time, and there was this awesome band called Syntenic. They were like killer band. One of the best bands that I ever got to see, national or otherwise. We used to play with them all the time. Well, they had a hookup. They would play around, and they were like, "Hey, you all want to come open for us up in like North or South Carolina?" We're like, "All right." And they're like, "Well, it's at this place called the Gold Club, and it's a strip club." And we're like, All right, we'll do that. We get there, and these girls, Shawn, were wrecked. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to
I
judge.
think one of them only had one arm or something.
There was a girl with one arm. She looked like a damn chicken wing. There was a bald bitch. There was one with their teeth. All their teeth were messed up. I had this girl coming up to me. I'm sitting at the bar, just sneezing and sniffling and just totally disgusting and nasty. Practically like, do you want a lap dance, baby? I'm like, no. please. And she's like, I all of a sudden I start like feeling sorry for this creature because I'm like convinced that like her gas money depends on me. She gotta get in this damn lap dance. It was whatever. But
we never went back.
No, but
to say.
Usually like when we play live, we kind of, all right, we're gonna do this song and then we're gonna flare it out. We're gonna go into this song and we're gonna stop But this was different because we'd stop our song and the DJ would come on. All right, make some noise for Candy Cane. And now let's bring to the stage Lacey or whatever. And I remember one time I was playing. Yeah, a lot of times I played with my eyes closed. You know, well I like kind of opened my eyes to like step on a pedal, and there was like some girl like spread out over my pedal board. I was like, this is new. I haven't experienced that in Gainesville.
If you brought the dog to that place, that would make sense.
Supper, we brought everybody dinner.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Nick?
It's awesome. That's amazing. And this song, I haven't heard this song in a long time. I fucking wrote it a long time ago. Have not heard it forever.
Killer guitar solo right here.
What am I doing here? Joe Herschel.
Did I do it justice right there when I said that?
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Maybe I'll replace you for the lead singer of your next band.
Joe's gonna kill you for talking over his solo. That's a good jam, man. And I smoke what I smoke. I'm feeling high. And I look in the face forever, but I'm not looking very far. And I stop and I say to myself. Is there more interview on here too?
No, just play the rest of the song, man.
That's awesome.
It is actually really nice, like just like listening to this song because I haven't listened to it in a long time.
This was a good one. Recorded over there at Monster Studios.
Oh, with Dave Owen?
David Owen.
Cool.
Dude, when I had my little Subaru Legacy wagon, we had the CD player.
Yeah.
That's all we would listen to. Like the only CD that we had in the car was Holidays. So we just listened to the Holidays album over and over and over and over, and it was great. I loved it.
When we were driving to that strip club show that we were talking about, we took
with the amputee.
Yeah.
Oh.
We took.
I wish I would have been there with you guys. That would have been so much fun.
You'd have had a blast. You'd have enjoyed it, especially with that mullet. We
bringing it back to the mullet.
We drove up there in Dave's father's truck, and I remember it had this like abnormally tall gear shift. It was like eye level with me. I mean, it was fucking weird. So needless to say,
that doesn't really sound weird. Like thinking about you and
it was like there was like a extra. It was added on. Like I don't know. It was like I don't know. It was
it a stick
weird.
shift?
Yeah. But it was like there was.
Yeah, in those trucks, they just come out of the floor.
Yeah,
it's like on a
exactly. But they
work perfectly fine for me. Like
they're
why
usually just a couple feet
because
high.
his dad
why did you have an
built
issue with
on extra length to the gear shifts. I don't know why. Anyway,
Because he's not 3 feet tall like you?
Listen, motherfucker.
Okay.
We drove all the way up there, South Carolina, and the radio didn't work. But the tape player did. But we only had one tape. And it was a single.
Oh, wow. It wasn't even a whole album.
So it was only one song. And it was Rage Against the Machine, Bullet in Your Head. We listened to that song all the way.
Did it even have a B-side?
No. It was just Killing in the Name. I think it might have been like a radio edit on the other side or some shit like that, but yeah. So that was I still don't think that I've voluntarily listened to that song since. It's forever. It's like I've got enough of it.
Yeah. Enough of that for now.
I actually have 2 stories, just real quick stories that I could say that like kind of relate to that. Number one, my brother, growing up, he had a 1981 Chevy Citation with an 8-track player.
Nice.
And the 8-track player was broken, and there was an Allman Brothers album like stuck in it. Couldn't get it out. So
did it play?
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
And we couldn't switch it to AM because there was no FM. It was only AM or the 8-track.
Wow.
And we couldn't switch it either way. So we just listened to the Allman Brothers for like 2 years straight.
Nice.
Anywhere we drove. So that was awesome. And then my best friend growing up in high school, he had a 1979 Chevy K5 Blazer, which, yes, the answer is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed with the new Chevy Blazers.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just, yeah.
They missed opportunity.
We don't even have to talk
Missed
about that.
opportunity.
Let's just skip over that real quick.
Agreed.
Yeah. But so he had this big ass awesome fucking Chevy Blazer, and it did not have a radio at all. So when we were driving around, we would just sing the only song that we both knew all the lyrics to, which happened to be Smash Mouth All-Star.
Oh, good.
No way.
So no matter where we went, in his truck,
that's a scenario for like eternity in hell.
Told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
So you would just ride around and do this. I remember.
Dude, we even did like a
just
DMX remix of it, like where we would just like do like gangster rap to the lyrics of that song. Like we got really good.
Do you remember when like CD players first started being able to be like picked up by a little radio signal in your car? You remember those things? There were like adapters that you would plug. You'd plug into the CD player and it would emit a radio frequency.
Oh
to
yeah,
your
the
radio.
FM transmitter.
And you just tune in to a certain, and you could play your Discman if you could keep that bitch from skipping. You had to have your friend riding shotgun with a fucking steady hand. Like,
I've seen those.
Don't set it on your lap, man.
Wow.
Hold it.
It's called an FM transmitter.
Always had the tape, that you put in, and it went from the Walkman. But eventually, they would screw up for some reason.
Yep.
If you had one that flips from side A to side B by itself, it'd go click, 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 and it just wouldn't stop.
Yep.
Then you'd have to go back to Best Buy and spend $40 on a new one. They were expensive as shit back in the day. I remember that. I remember like getting my first one. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and then it started click, 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 click.
Now they're like $5, $1, dollies.
Yeah.
Oh, then the CD players in everybody's cars, they all had to have the detachable faces and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, right now, like in my truck, I have a 99, which is pretty new to me.
Hey.
But it has the 6 disc, the 6-disc changer.
Say that 5 times fast.
I couldn't even say it once at a normal pace. But that thing doesn't even work. I got
right.
I got the entire discography of System of a Down, and I'm like, perfect. It's 5 discs, whatever. I don't need a 6th one. Like, dude, I'm just gonna put that in there, and it worked great for about a week. and now it just keeps on popping up as bad disc.
Oh man!
And then I can hear the changer just going.
Try getting one of those. Try getting one of those CD cleaners. I bet you that's what it is. Put one of the CD cleaners. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm probably the only
got the
one
little
that's ever
brushes
used
on
that
it.
6
Just
disc
fucking
changer.
try. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it'll work. It'll work. Mark my words.
Does it work on a disc changer?
I bet it would. I bet you that's all that's wrong with it.
You just hit play, man. I think it goes right over the little laser lens.
You guys are so smart. I'm so happy that we're talking about this right now. You guys have just like completely changed my trip to and from work.
Try it. I mean, I don't even. Do they still fucking make those things?
I don't know, but I need to hear about the kombucha mushroom people sitting around all day. Yes, I need you. Yes, I need you.
Let your
Mother pray.
You know, I was never.
I just got to sing with Shawn Manley.
I was never much for System of a Down. It was never really my bag, man.
I like them because they're so different. They're so weird.
A lot of people got into them for that. I mean, Serge
Tankian.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty fucking amazing singer, but it's one of those things where it was just wasn't my thing. It was kind of that far out.
I could
never
see
hit
that.
me at
It
the
was-
right time.
For me, I felt
you know?
like I wanted a little more from that band. I mean, that first album came out when I saw the video for Sugar.
Yeah.
And it was on MTV, and I'm just like, what?
I think I was starting to really find my way into more like older blues.
Can you see it?
I think
right
I
around
was.
the
I think I was
time.
16 when that stuff was coming out.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
30 something.
30 something.
I'm 34, so
Oh, man.
I think we're fairly close.
Okay.
I'm 40. 40.
I'm right.
40
Well, you're old
Right
as
in the
fuck.
middle.
That's
I'm-
why we
wait.
didn't.
I'm 37.
Yeah, 40.
Okay, so yeah, I mean we're around the same, time period. So
Man, you've been playing around in this music scene for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
I mean, like you said, you've been here out of high school, going and seeing shows and shit like that. How much has it changed? How much have you seen it change? Because for me, I look around and it's like there's nothing anymore.
Yeah.
It's a shell of what it was. And I mean, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, this was a fucking place. This was serious.
Yeah. So I guess.
How did we lose all that?
Yeah. In the late 90s, I guess probably at the year 2000. I think.
The year 2000.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Conan. So yeah, at that point I was seeing shows, and I think one of the things was Rock 104 Locals Only. They were sponsoring shows, and they did it at Porpoise and then ADC's, and then in the beginning of Backstage Lounge, and they were sponsored by Budweiser. And not only did they have the Locals Only concert series that was on Rock 104, they came out with a compilation CD, and it had local artists on it.
I remember that.
So
that was fun.
Having that support, you also had all that radio advertising, and that was for free. Not only was that covered by Budweiser, it was covered by the station, and then they brought a DJ out, and they had Lauren O'Neill who came out.
Actually, Matt Adams was one of the DJs, and he was our manager for a period of time, and got us to cover Toadies. I Come From the Water.
Oh, cool!
And I think he booked us one show, and then that was pretty much it. And then I don't know.
Well,
Things were so weird back then.
When I started checking out shows, I started playing guitar when I was 15, and I was in high school. I better have been in high school. I did graduate, by the way. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really. I'm proud of you.
I did something with my life. So, I mean, I would go out and I'd see bands like your band, you know?
Yeah.
So, and at that time, there were some bands that were coming through like Blindside. I'm trying to think of some others, but I mean, there was one that had an EP that they were signed to Elektra Records. And I remember their song was on like late night.
There was
on the radio. You'd hear it like one time at 2 o'clock in the morning. You already know what I'm talking about.
Oh God, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Joe would know the fucking band, and I think he would know the band. Was it like not like Soulfly or something like that?
it was not, because that's Max Cavalera in that one. But man, what was the name? Was it Soul something? It wasn't Soul Found. I remember
Soul
that
Found.
band.
They came out
It wasn't
of here.
them, but it was it was another one. But
yeah, gosh, I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure the band that you're talking about, we actually helped them unload one night when they first came through, and they were in a bus.
Yeah,
they were in a van with a trailer.
But these
and
bands,
then the next time
yeah.
we saw them, they came through and they were on a bus, and they were at
man.
Eddie C's, and we were like, "Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, how did you guys social?"
Oh wait, here it comes.
Oh, social!
Oh man,
Social burn?
I think that was it.
Was that it?
Was that the
Oh
name?
man!
So anyways,
was I there with you?
No, this was years
okay.
ago.
bands were getting some backing like
Yeah.
that back then.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do original music, and I basically did like what your band and a lot of local bands do, is like they'll throw in covers, but it's it's about their original show. And it was so hard to get people out, and
It was fucking impossible.
yeah.
That time was really probably when we saw the biggest decline, because I mean, we were going to campus and trying to hand out flyers, and we were littering, flyering cars, and
Yeah, I think
and we were dropping off hundreds.
losing rock and roll, Rock 104's locals only was one of the things that contributed to that, because they were not only were they advertising the shows, they were advertising a scene. They were advertising that you go out and watch local bands.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was at that time too, and then that's when I was really trying to play shows and do stuff. And yeah, we had, good shows and bad shows, but nothing really had a major impact until I started playing with Whiplash.
Yeah.
Of all bands.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
But tell everybody what Whiplash is.
Whiplash, the Metallica tribute band. We also would do Megadeth too,
Nice.
for the pure irony. And touched upon some other stuff, maybe a little Pantera. So I ended up seeing a post on Craigslist and went and tried out. And I remember, so the guitar players in Whiplash are twins. And I remember like meeting one, getting introduced. I remember just like sort of, like looking at stuff or messing with my mic cable, and then turning around, and then someone's like, "Oh, hey, mate." They're British twins. And I'm just like, what? Wait a minute. You're over here. Now you're over here. And I was like, okay, they're twins, And then, it took me a couple months to tell them apart.
Right.
And now, like, I couldn't mistake one for the other.
Right.
Yeah, But so the twins, they're dentists. So they would throw down a little bit of money for radio advertising.
That's awesome.
And so, we'd get like Metallica tribute band, playing at Backstage Lounge. And I remember the first show I played with them, I just went and watched Megadeth like the week before.
Nice.
And who else was there? Suicide Silence played too. And the thing about that band is they were actually so influential for me and what I took to the stage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got to tell you, I'm not really familiar with them, not really into their music. It's,
I've never heard of them.
yeah. So the singer,
What was it that you felt like you took away from them that was...
what it was is really engaging with the audience between songs.
Yeah.
And the guy would be like, the singer would be out on the, he actually passed away too from a motorcycle accident, I don't know, a few years ago. But he would be out like on the monitor, leaning as far as he could to the crowd, and and just have the mic and just be like, and they were kind of like trying to get people not to mosh, but he was getting everybody into that show, just pumping this
My
audience
man.
up. Yeah. But then he would go to sing and be like, this song is called, and then like his verses would be like blah blah blah, 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 and then it'd be like next song. That's all I heard, but then the song would stop. And everybody, they loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much energy in the room. And then he would pump the audience up again, and they would be more like that.
You are really, really good at that. Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, like I feel like I would need like a cough drop or something like after.
Wow. I'm no Alan Godfrey though. I don't know how
man.
he does it.
Oh, that shit's wild. That dude is wild.
But yeah. So I mean, I don't sing like that. I mean, I don't know. When I sing like me, I sing like me. I've been singing at restaurants and stuff lately.
You've been singing like yourself for a long time.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
But singing the Metallica stuff too, like I like that. I think it's so important that you could hear the lyrics.
Yeah.
You could really take them home with you. You could really have them sitting in your head, and it's just like, man, if you can't hear every last lyric to those songs. But I still love listening to death metal and Opeth. And speaking of Alan Godfrey, his Opeth tribute band, have you ever seen Still Life?
I have not.
Well, they don't play anymore, but there might be videos out there.
Oh, man.
But he had an Opeth tribute band, and we played a show with them. And I was just getting into that stuff, and it is cool. I mean, definitely dig the screaming, especially with just the intricate instrumental work with those guys.
Oh, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. So then I went and saw Opeth, and like the singer changed what he was doing. He didn't like scream the whole show. I think he screamed for like half a second, and the biggest mosh pit opened up.
See, I don't know how they sustain that for years on end.
Yeah.
That's what always baffles me.
Ask Israel next week
Yeah.
how he does that stuff, man. He's got like this inward scream.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get into that for sure.
Israel is freaking awesome. I love that dude. I mean, he's like this tall, but he has the voice that actually like makes me like hide from the boogeyman.
Well, he will be here next week with his new band, Spearhead Horizon, I believe is the name.
I'm excited.
And hopefully he's going to bring some tracks. You brought some tracks.
I sure did.
As well.
Yeah.
Which one of these should we
let's
get
play
into
the
here?
first one first. It's called Every Last One.
Well, tell me about it. What do I need to know about this song?
Well,
Where'd it come from?
I actually started writing this song in 2016, and it really kind of had to do with the elements concerning the 2016 election.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I noticed is like it just having that divide in society, just all around, your R, your D, your whatever, your something else. So what this song really does is it's supposed to be where you could look through every last person's eyes on this earth, on this planet. So think like whether like you're the richest person in the world sitting on a golden toilet, or in your high rise
Right.
at the Aston Martin.
I was going to say, you built that bathroom.
Actually, we didn't handle any of the bathrooms at all because they're tile. So it's a wood mill. So luckily, we don't mess with bathrooms. So I just skip right over those. But sometimes we do the vanities if there's something intricate about that.
See, there's where it is. That's where you tie into it.
Oh yeah. Quick little story. One of these vanities that came in, it was like a 50-something 60-inch TV and a two-way mirror. So this two-way mirror thing was gonna go up in like a penthouse in Miami, Florida. When the TV was off, it was a mirror. When TV was on, it's a TV,
No
and it had
way.
windows all around it,
Are you
overlooking the
kidding?
ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want that in my life.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why would you even say that to me? Because
Oh,
now I'm
man.
just going to be depressed for
Hey
the
man,
rest of my life.
when the podcast comes in, so that's it. We'll get that shit.
Are we still going to go halvesies on rent?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You get the triple penthouse for $50 million.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
$25 million, but it's yours after that.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like a good deal.
Hey, we're gonna go for it. You never know. You got to reach for it. All right.
so I almost forgot what I was talking about.
I'm
but
sorry, Nick, but I think if I had $25 million to go in on halfsies on a penthouse, I would probably just buy my own mansion.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Please
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So
I like you, but I don't want to live with you.
I live next door to you or something. So.
it's a triplex penthouse, man. I mean,
Yeah.
anyways, it would take so long. Just to
I wouldn't
take the
even know how to
elevator.
find you.
And you would have to be in Miami, So the song's called Every Last One, and you're supposed to kind of like, I guess, empathize and I just try to imagine. So with each line of the verses, I tried to think of like a universal tendency that people would have, where it didn't matter if they were rich or poor or whatever country they lived in, if they lived in huts, if they did not have internet, if they were, an Amazonian tribe, if they were, living in the Arctic Circle, or just you and I here. I was trying to just find these universal tendencies just so I could, I don't know. I just thought it was a way to come back down to earth,
Right.
So there's one line. It's, how's your meager existence 1 in 7 billion? So we have I think we almost have like 8 billion or more people on this damn planet now.
Yeah.
I think I might start with the T at this point.
No, it does not. It does.
No, we're still in the billions.
Yeah.
We're still in the billions. If we
You
hit
would think that,
trillions,
though.
we'd have like tipped by now or some shit. Fucking
We would tip the flat Earth. Though.
That's how we're going to prove that the Earth is round.
All right, so this is sort of it's coming together, like let's get back together, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing,
So, and this was recorded at Z Chord Studios, and I have Scott Marshall. He is on drums on this one, and yeah, let's check it out.
Cool. I like that vibe. Very cool.
I know that every last one of these people is living day to
That's awesome.
Dude.
thanks, man.
Holy
Appreciate
shit.
it.
Dude.
I was digging that.
Wow. I was like in a
Fuck.
trance like that whole time. Like I was
Hey,
feeling
man.
like the vibe. And, like, man.
Shit, that was good, brother. I
Wow.
love that. That is, I would listen to that. Like if it's on the radio, I'm fucking listening to it. That is good.
Dude, how would one go about acquiring that song so it like I could listen to it?
I don't know. I haven't released it yet.
Oh,
I haven't
really?
been sure if it's ready.
Are you gonna hand that?
You can have that CD if you guys want it. Yeah.
I got it on the computer, so if you want to look at you, man, you're just getting CDs from everybody and
Well,
shit.
give me that. I want that in my hand.
Well,
right
I'm going to
now.
hold it for now because we still have to talk. There's still another song on there that we're going to talk about a little bit.
But I want it now.
Well, you're going to fucking wait. No, man, that was awesome.
so good.
So you did all the work on that except for the drums?
Except for the drums,
That's
yeah.
awesome, man.
What was really cool, though, working with Scott Marshall is I had, I would say a couple ideas, but I really had one that was important is I just sort of thought of that drum fill, it's kind of like it comes up a bit more in the verse and it goes, So I kind of just did this in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, no one listening could see what I'm doing, the air drums, but he's like, okay, and he played exactly,
Yeah.
So
He felt what you were talking about.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh, and the other thing was just bringing up the hi-hat, like whenever the lyric got a little more intense, just
Yeah.
be like, and know that ever lasts, to be like,
Yeah.
just a little bit of that. But yeah, he did great job playing drums, and then I did all the guitars, and I think there were probably maybe like 4 guitar tracks in there.
So who are some of your main influences? Because I hear very like a 90s-esque sort of that like almost like an Alice in Chains sort of vibe, but I also hear like the Stones in there.
Oh, cool.
Like with that swing sort of sound, it's very cool. Like I was hearing a lot of different things in there. So
All right, so this is going to sound crazy, but I heard a little bit of a band that I kind of liked when I was in high school. Is a band called the Zootons.
The Zootons?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them.
never heard of them.
It's kind of jazzy, kind of like rock kind of stuff, and like if you haven't heard of the Zootons, I would highly recommend looking it up because it's different. It has like a different feel to it, and it's like a little jazzy, little rock, and they got some good tunes.
There was another band that you made me think of when you were talking about sort of a jazzy, weird rock and roll mix thing. Does everybody remember Cake?
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Yeah,
Cake.
come on now.
Cake was those
He's
guys
going
were
the
amazing.
distance.
I got to play in this band called Subliminal Pepper, and what they were is they were Sublime Chili Peppers, but they also did Cake and the 311s and just some other stuff. But that was the main formula.
I got to see 311 here at the O-Dome.
Oh, wow.
Way back when.
So I got to play some of these Cake songs, and playing The Distance
Yeah.
was a blast.
Oh, that
man.
fucking dun-it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a
And I got
badass
I got a
riff.
whammy pedal, so I got to play all those super high,
Yeah.
like pitchy parts to it.
So good.
Yeah, it was.
They're one of the more underrated bands in my
Dude, when I
opinion.
first heard them and I heard this song, The Distance, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it was great.
Another
really.
band, and I don't know if anybody agrees with me or not, but I don't give a fuck because I've been this band has popped up on my feed a couple times lately, and I've been sharing their videos, and it just whenever I hear them, I'm like, God, this shit. They had so much more. Unfortunately, the singer died, heroin. It's one of those. Blind Melon.
Oh yeah, man.
They were
Yeah.
they had so much more to give, and goddamn, I wish that I wish they would have had Shannon around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously still, but
Yep.
for at least a few more years, man, because I know that guy had a lot of things to say to the world that I think a lot of people would have benefited from hearing. He just seemed to be a very prolific songwriter, and
Oh man, like
you know, one of the first
I haven't
bands that I
haven't
really
dug
noticed
enough into them, but like No Rain is just a masterpiece.
Oh,
Anytime I hear anything
yeah.
from those guys, it's
Change is a fantastic song, and it's a very personal Shannon Hoon song, something that he wrote, you know, before Blind Melon and everything, and you know, he said, "I want to write my words on the face of today," and, you know, shit like that. It's like,
cool.
that's just so out there. Like, man, where is this guy coming from? You know, like, where is this just immense fucking talent? It's such. I hate seeing guys like that just cut down. You know, him,
Yeah.
Lane Staley. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, all the guys that were cut down in the prime of that fucking '90s music, and then, you know, Cornell recently, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember doing that Cornell tribute show too.
Oh, that was a blast. That was a blast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Shitty cause, shitty reason that we're all
Yeah.
there, but man, we had some great bands that night.
That was a really cool night. I mean, like you said, it was shitty that there was a reason for everybody to be there, but it was a cool night having everybody there, and it was a cool time to hang out.
Yeah,
and like
I worked my ass off on those songs, Burden in My Hands.
Yeah.
Oh man, and putting in that special tuning and everything is great. Ah man.
We had an interesting path to get to that because
Yeah.
we actually did not have a band until that show got offered,
And then it's after the end.
and then it was after the end.
I love that band name.
And we decided to put the band together because Joe was like, well, Pat called and he said, do you want to do this? And
Of course.
we had been dancing around it, me, Joe, and our drummer Reed, who's been on the show a bunch of times, and we just needed to find a bass player, and but we got a warehouse space, and said, all right, let's give it a go. And we could not. We had a hard time finding a bass player.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one guy came out and said, I mean, he had all the right gear. He had like the orange amps, and
Really?
had a
Orange bass rig?
Schrader
Heck
or
yeah.
Schecter bass.
Nice.
I mean, high end equipment. You know, I mean, you just knew this guy was going to come in fucking banging, and he didn't know how to play at all.
No.
He had
Oh
no
man.
idea.
I remember I rehearsed with a bass player like that.
really?
man.
It might have been the
yeah.
same guy.
Yeah, it might have been.
It
Did
might-
he have a mohawk?
I don't know.
So
His name was like Mikhail or
Oh,
Michael
man.
or some shit.
So
like
this guy came and like he had to look. I was like, man, this guy's got to be great.
Yeah.
Because like mohawk and whatever, he was like tatted up, his like bass, like all his gear was perfect, and then like this guy could not like even keep up one note.
Play the G chord.
We were
Just
like
play a G.
we were
You
like,
don't even need a whole chord, man. It's bass. You
Yeah,
know?
we
were trying to
You couldn't
just-
do one note at a time.
we were trying to get him to
strum
time it in
one
right.
of the strings.
and he couldn't fall in on the timing or
Oh,
anything.
man.
And it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. What are you doing? And it was we were not prepared for that, and we thought he said, "Oh, I'm just sorry, I'm a little rusty.
You're
I'm going
rusty, all
on.
right.
I'm going on vacation for a week though, so I'll learn these songs while I'm gone. I'll have them down, ready to go when I get back." So we foolishly gave him the week. We didn't have any other choice, and he came back, and we were like, "All right, we're ready to do this. Let's get out." And he did not have them at all.
Oh, man.
And I had to call him that night and just be like, "Hey, man, this ain't working out. We got to go a different direction." And we called another friend of mine who I didn't want to call because I knew we really didn't see eye to eye very well musically, but I knew that he would come and do the show. And after that, he ended up sticking with the band, making the decision to stick with the band. And it just didn't work out long run because we were on just different levels musically. You know, he was very into jazz and stuff like that, which is cool. But you know, with the stuff we were doing, you know, we were writing stuff and locking shit down and into place, not doing a lot of stuff, a lot of changes on the fly, and so it just got weird. You know, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then we brought Taylor in, so you know, and Taylor's a wild motherfucker.
That's the best way to describe.
He's a fun dude, though, man. We
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun. We do.
We were talking about like influences. I'm thinking, I was really into heavier music, you know, from the get go, and like this last song, I think I was trying to make something that could work for a lot of the solo gigs that I'm playing now. Yeah. So normally when I play with a band, I'm playing original music. It's some loud ass distorted guitar. Right. You know, I kind of like think that I'm influenced from, I guess, all the major sort of points of metal, from like Black Sabbath to Black Sabbath to Ozzy. I was about to say that, but you know, then everybody.
Did you know that Ozzy was in Black Sabbath?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was just Dio and that guy from Deep Purple. But anyways, so I was doing something that was, you know, that was pulled from grunge, that was pulled from something a little thrashy, and Anthrax, and I loved Alice in Chains, loved the Doors. I really was digging Queens of the Stone Age. That was one of those bands that was sort of moving a direction, because they would do this driving rock. Yep. I mean, it was all on the eighth notes. It'd be like, so I was kind of pulling, you know, some songs like that. And you heard, you know, what I did with Six Killer. Yep. You know, those were songs that I wrote. And Israel was, dude, like having him in a band, like playing guitar parts and singing. He plays awesome, complementary guitar parts and harmonies too when he's backing you.
That's one of the best things when you got a guy that can fucking harmonize with you, and it rounds the sound out so amazing.
So I had a blast playing with him, and then he was getting ready to take his own band out, you know. So
Broken Silence,
Broken Silence, love that group.
They were on the show.
We played,
and then like a week later, they were no more.
Man, so we did play a show together where like Izzy was doing Broken Silence, and I still had Six Killer, and he was in the band. Yeah, and we played at High Dive, and we had like one last one that was double duty, and then after that, he's just like, I gotta just concentrate on this one band, and I was like,
I respect that motherfucker's drive. Yeah. Like that is one of the most driven individuals, man. He's just always promoting, always getting after it, and I respect his drive.
Pretty fierce about that stuff, man.
Yeah. He don't fuck around.
So here's a story. So I was recording with him. He was actually gonna record the Mother Culture EP. And let me tell you, we recorded 5 songs in my living room, and we were missing vocals, but everything sounded perfect. Yeah. The drums sounded amazing in that room, the way we mic'd everything up. The guitars were just out of this world.
Yeah.
And his MacBook gets stolen.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. And, like, we didn't back it, and
it wasn't uploaded to the cloud.
It wasn't. Cause all lost, man.
That sucks.
But it would have been awesome to release that music that I was working on at the time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get back to that.
Yeah.
I started working with the drummer from Six Killer and Mother Culture, Mr. John Pruitt.
John Pruitt, he's still at it. How's he doing? Haven't seen him in a while.
Well, we haven't played a show together in like 4 years, and then we finally did last month over at High Springs Brewing Company. And he said all his stuff was rusted and this and that, and then all of a sudden he's like, he got all new hardware. He got himself a new snare and just like set up his kit, and it was an awesome show. We played with Fritz, if you know James Nags.
Oh yeah,
dude, just
Fritz is my buddy.
Yeah,
I see Fritz at Publix like every other day, all the time. We always run into each other.
That's awesome.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
and an amazing bass player. I've jammed with him, did a few jam nights back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd always get asked to come up and sing, usually Roadhouse Blues or something like that. That was my jam. Back before the world fucking fell apart. Jesus.
Man.
Well, we're getting there. I don't know.
We're
getting everything. People are getting back opened up, and businesses are opening up, and so we're getting there. We'll see where we are in the next few months.
I feel like gig-wise, the way things are set up, like I'm doing better than I did before.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's by I'll say over a third better. So it's like, okay, I'm able to do like a little less work for a little more.
Do you think a lot of guys, maybe it's weeded out a lot of guys?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing is like, the playing field's a little different.
Yeah.
I feel like when the pandemic first hit, it leveled the playing field completely. And then some folks would go, and try sort of busking on the internet, really, and, putting up their Venmo and whatever virtual tip jar and PayPal.
Right.
And just be on Facebook or whatever. And
I saw a lot of that early on, and then it sort of seemed to go away. I think people were like, this isn't really vibing very well.
But I thought it was good because also it was a lot of musicians giving the music back and expressing it, and
they were trying, man, trying to do something.
But bands,
respect the hustle.
Bands got hurt the most.
Fuck yeah.
Because like people like me, I was one of the first to go back to work.
Yeah.
But bands are doing it, and then also like you also have if people are more vulnerable to the virus or in their 60s, and there's a lot of them out there in cover bands, so they're either not playing or they're playing only outdoors.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different world now.
That's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, also with you, Shawn, you've been doing your acoustic lessons, right?
Yeah, you still doing the teaching?
Yeah. I teach. I was teaching over at B-Side Vintage. It's actually right by Akira, where I'm working on James Bond's penthouse right now.
Nice.
But I mean. Sorry to say that I don't know what the fate of the store is going to be at this point. They might be closing their doors, so I am actively teaching. I have an awesome student that I've been going out in Turkey Creek and teaching them out on their back porch. So, so that's, I have a couple lessons here or there, but really a lot of that's been dropped.
Yeah.
But I guess I just need to go with like everyone else does. They're doing it online. They're doing like Zoom lessons.
Fuck. Yeah.
But
it works.
You can't mess with the little brat's fingers if they're not playing the chord right.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
If they can't tune their instrument, what do you do? So I really haven't got into the virtual stuff, but it's so weird. I feel like that started getting better.
Yeah.
Started getting momentum, and then right now that's been tough. But I'm still available for lessons. If you're interested, you can send an email to shawnsguitarlessons@gmail.com.
There you go. Get it.
ShawnsGuitarLessons@gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. Sign your little brats up.
Yeah.
So that they're not going to be annoying you 24/7.
Yeah. Give them some music.
Give them an electric guitar so that they can make even more noise.
And listen, parents, I'm going to tell you something. We know that drums are loud. They're inconvenient.
Oh, we need more drummers, though. Yeah.
They're pain in the ass sometimes, but god damn it, we need more drummers in this world. I need some of you people to suck it up. Buy that when your kid comes to you with those big puppy dog eyes and they say, "Mom, I want a drum set." Just trust me. Just go with it, man. You could change that kid's life, man. Music speaks to people on a different level. And when you hand a kid a set of drumsticks and some shit to bang on, man, you know, it can be life changing.
Dude, all you gotta do is like go to your neighbor's house, give them a bottle of tequila, and apologize, and be like, "I just got my kids a drum set." And trust me, I'm gonna need this tequila more than you.
I actually, I had a couple drum sets here at one point. And both my kids were like, "Yeah, that's great." You know, man, really?
Yeah, come on.
What I would have given at your age to just beat the shit out of that thing. My friend Josh was his name. He had half of a drum set in his room, and it was a bass drum. It had one tom. I think it had a snare and maybe a floor tom. That was about it. No cymbals, no kick pedal. And I think he had one drumstick. But man, it was
One
great.
drumstick,
It was great. You know, we'd I don't know, you know, just to be making music. It was cool. And when I started my first band, we didn't have a drummer because we didn't know anybody with drums. So my friend Kane Ford, who designed the Porchville logo, we're still friends to this day. He played drums on our acoustic guitar cases because that was the other thing. We didn't have electric guitars.
Oh, right.
So he would just like conga line drums on the fucking drum cases. You know, that was how we had our rhythm section. And we'd play wherever we could. We'd practice, and you know, we'd take the fucking guitars to the park at, you know, Fort Myers down there on the pier, and like just hang out and strum and play. And it was good times.
Cool.
Good times back then. So
yeah, I didn't even think that the acoustic guitar, at least for me, was supposed to make it to the stage.
yeah.
And I was playing at Backstage and started doing the open mics over there with Pruitt, Mr. John Pruitt, and so then we were getting invited to play shows, and Ed Waldick over there would ask, "Can Whiplash play?" Yeah. And there would be someone in the band who couldn't play, and he would be like, well, we got this band coming in from Chicago.
Oh,
we just need somebody. Garth Algar, stage management.
Yeah.
So, you know, he would go, "Well, can you play it acoustic?" And I'm just like, what? You know, like what you do around the bonfire? Because I've done plenty of that. So that's really what got me into that, and I was like, whoa, man, I could do this by myself, and I don't have to like make sure that 3-4 other people can make it. And yeah, that was pretty cool. And then
when did you turn the tide to realizing like I can go out and play bars and make a living doing this? Like, when was that transformation?
Well, it was doing the open mic at Backstage.
Yeah.
We did that for just over 3 years, and so I will just say that a lot of places that do like a jam night format, they usually have at least a 3-piece band.
Yeah.
So me and John, we would host it, and I would, you know, play guitar or bass, and just jam with him if there was no one there, or I'd be the house bass player like all night. So at that point, that was actually making money, you know, splitting for 2 people instead of 3 or more.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, I started trying to do other stuff, and I really think that, just trying to get a couple gigs, well, Backstage went away. They're getting ready to close, and it's like, I finally got a call. Actually, my partner John Pruitt got the call, not me, because they didn't want to tell me. And it was like, we can't pay you guys anymore. And then it was like, okay. I was like, well, can you pay us for one more? So we did one final one, and it was Halloween, I think, of 2012. And we had Xmart sponsoring it. They brought out all types of stupid crap, and
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I wish I would've been there.
It was actually a lot of fun.
That sounds really cool.
We had one of these gals. She dressed up like Darth Vader, like a lady Darth Vader,
Nice.
like this sleek sort of like bodysuit, but everything was perfect. Like the helmet, and then got it down to like the. I don't know. There was definitely some cleavage, but then after that, I think like all the, all that stuff like on the chest or whatever. Like all those buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
She got all that perfect.
Nice.
The lightsaber, the gloves, everything.
How does it feel knowing that you just turned on a grown-ass man?
It was the nerdy stuff, the sexy Darth Vader?
Just the whole story, all those details.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you, she did like the lady from like The Hills Have Eyes the year before. And it was, like sexy nurse, but with the, the face was just, I don't know. I didn't even see that movie. That's what I heard it was from.
Now is it weird knowing that I'm about to take my pants off?
That's definitely going to be weird. But it usually
the Porchville bathroom is over there, sir.
Well, so we've got a little bit of time left here, and I want to get to this second track you've got. It's called "Recurring Dreams."
That's right.
Now, tell me what this song's all about. You have recurring dreams yourself?
I used to. I think a lot of us, whenever we're younger, have had recurring dreams. I had this wicked one where like as a little kid, like 6 years old or something, 5, of like walking down the sidewalk, but then the sidewalk like dropped like a trap door, and and you slid down like a slide,
like Goonies style.
Yeah, but into like a pit of spikes.
Okay,
and
so
not
like, the fun ending then.
Yeah, like
no pirate ship.
Yeah, and they were like about, I would say, 3 foot like razor, like Wolverine spikes, and I would just wake up then.
Okay,
but that's a weird dream.
I mean, it's terrifyingly fucking weird. I hope I don't recreate it in my own nightmares this evening.
Yeah. The other dreams,
I'm going to be cussing you out tomorrow, Shawn Manley.
Oh man, the other dreams that I think we've all had, flying.
Oh yeah,
that's a great dream too.
Yeah.
So it was one of those where I try to be a little ambiguous with it, but think of different things. Another influence was Batman the Animated Series from the 90s.
Okay.
So in that. There was a dream episode, and he couldn't read signs, and there was like different things, like so in dreams, not being able to read, maybe it's in black and white, maybe it's in a little bit murky, maybe jumping from one dream to another dream, and then also like trying to run, but you can't run, you're like in slow-mo or trying to punch somebody, but it's nothing, you're just punching a pillow. It's all those things.
Fucking A.
That's the song.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well,
I'm really excited to hear this.
Well, let's get into it. This is Recurring Dreams, Mr. Shawn Manley, hardest working man in Gainesville. Here you go.
Recorded live.
I already love it.
Now, is this one that you build up using your pedals and stuff?
No looping in this.
Gotcha.
tomorrow everything will be okay. I've been walking on this tightrope, 100 stories in the wind. I know I make it look easy, but I just like to pretend that when I hit the ground, I won't feel a thing. 'Cause I dreamed years ago, yesterday, that I was back in my old town, old house, old schools, and I was taking my time, the hours robbing me night, recurring dreams of things crisscrossed and blurred. Bunches doing nothing, and running seems like walking. Can't hear a single word, but everyone is talking. Can't read between the lines, and I don't see the signs. I'm soaring in the sky across a speckled glisten bay, feeling free and weightless on this blue sky sunny day. But when I hit the ground, I won't feel a thing. 'Cause I dreamed years ago, yesterday, that tomorrow everything would be okay. And I was taking the time, the hours robbing me blind, recurring dreams of things crisscrossed and blurred. And I dreamed years ago, yesterday, that tomorrow everything would be okay. And I was taking the time, the hours robbing me blind, recurring dreams of things crisscrossed and blurred. And it's more than it seems when we silence the screams. Recurring dreams are haunting me in sleep. And I was taking my time, the seconds robbing me blind, recurring dreams of things crisscrossed and blurred.
Very cool, man.
Thank you.
That
Very
was
cool.
amazing. That's like if Incubus was cool.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was really
No,
good.
yeah, you can. It's so cool. Like I can hear your background, like your influences. You know, it's like we come from a very similar place. I think musically, you know, something about that time frame. You know, the '90s. And,
Oh, yeah.
2000s and shit. There's
It was infectious.
Oh my
really was.
god. I do. I all the time. I just take me back, man. Like It was so cool. I mean, not to mention, the major bands, but I mean, there was a lot of great smaller acts, out there. There was a lot of great, Alice in Chains, we know, Pearl Jam, we know. I mean, then you got Mad Season, and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of cool shit like that was going on with bands switching up members and recording a few songs and putting it out.
It really was that big break from like hair metal taking over everything and having bands like Shotgun Messiah and Poison. And, it went from like everything started sounding raw instead of like, especially like the drums. The drums started sounding very raw. Yeah. And you actually heard them instead of pow, these like giant snare drums, like super compressed.
Yeah. And there was anger.
Yeah,
people
that came
weren't
back
used to hearing that
instead of
anymore.
nothing. But a good time, It
was load up on guns and bring your friends.
Yeah.
And
yep, and and of course, like Smells Like Teen Spirit in that video.
Oh man,
hitting MTV, it changed everything.
That lets you know something new was happening. I mean, I remember my parents. I remember they just didn't get it. They just didn't get it. And now, God, I hate feeling that same way when my kids come out and they're like, yeah, what about this, that, or the other thing? And I'm like, that is not even music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm now doing the same shit my parents did.
Dude, it's the coolest fucking thing. It's like every once in a while I'll get a text from my mom.
Yeah.
Be like, Matt, Rob Zombie just came on the radio and I thought about you and it's awesome. And I'm just like, holy shit. She's
Mom's
like,
listening
what,
to
you're listening to Dragula?
Yeah, right.
What?
Well, man, where you got any websites you want to drop? Let everybody know where they can find you at. All that good shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure with that. I think.
Well, I'll find it and I'll link to you in the show notes.
Yeah, you could definitely follow me on Facebook. Also, I do have a Reverb Nation page as well. I need to get better about updating that. Somehow I'm still like, I checked a couple days ago. I'm like number 5, so I'm like, okay, I can deal with
Doing
that.
something right.
Yep. Yeah, I have Sean'sGuitarLessons.com too, but I haven't really done anything with that.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and just mention shows that are coming up. Let's see what we got here. So this is probably going to air in the future. So
yeah, we throw it out Sunday.
All right. So once it's out on Sunday in the present, I'm going to be playing over at Crafty Bastards on Friday. That's going to be Friday, February 5th. Then I'm going to be over at High Springs Brewing Company on Saturday. And,
a lot of people are getting out there, man. They got some good shit coming in.
Dude, I mean, they are definitely a very supportive place. And the cool thing is like, I think, whenever you're playing places in Gainesville's spoiled.
Yeah.
They're so used to getting it. And it's playing in High Springs, I guess you have High Springs Brewing, and then you also have the Great Outdoors. They're even a little more used to it at Great Outdoors. But people who are coming out to High Springs Brewing Company, they're much more engaged with the bands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah,
you don't see anybody with their arms crossed out there. Like
They're
the
there
good old
to
days.
have a good time.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, so man, that's been a great place to play. Great people out there.
Yeah.
One Love Cafe. That's been another awesome place to play, outdoor venue.
Have they gotten their stuff squared away? I know they were experiencing some issues with some neighbors or something like that too.
From what I could tell,
should be run out of town on a rail, but
yeah, I mean that was one of those things that was going around a bit, and it was making it to the courtroom and back out. And I think at this point, maybe they come up with some resolution.
I hope so.
They put this like little back piece to the stage. They've been trying to monitor, noise levels out there.
I definitely hope it works out for them, because it sounds like there's just some folks tossing around some negativity for no reason, and but they sound like they're trying to be stand-up folks about it. So we should have some of those. We should have one of those folks on. People from One Love. We should.
Like a restaurant manager or something?
Yeah. Bring 'em on.
Well, I brought up Fehrenbacher's once before.
Oh, man, I was just over there.
Dude, that place is so good.
Yep.
Dude, and they got that stage out back, so like
Yes,
that might
they
be
do.
a place. I was just that's the reason why that was at the top of my head. I'm like, that could be a cool place for you to check out, like do a little acoustic show like out back. And man, I mean, they even have a Satch 2s.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, Satch Squared.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, man, I hope that 2021 is the year that things are on the upswing for you. I hope things continue where you left off. And glad to see you at least got the other job going and finding something you're really enjoying doing. So either way, I think you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, it's been a surprise. Like I never thought that I would get into a career like this.
And I will say that you always seem to have the wildest fucking van adventures. Like you've always, every time I see a post, it's something's going on with a van. You got like tires punctured or Jesus.
Oh, actually, yeah. I mean, I was in a car accident in 2019. I think it was in April. So, yeah, that really sucked. That definitely, like, I don't know. I was still able to play shows, but one of the things that was going on is the pinky on my fret hand. I would play through like about halfway through the show, and I would just have these electrifying like nerve shocks.
Oh man!
For what felt like forever, it was probably just a few seconds, and then that would go away and it'd be fine. But like every show, so. When I was talking to, like the chiropractor about getting a referral and what to do, they're like, oh, we'll just send you to a surgeon and they'll just cut that nerve right out. And I was just like, wow, just start hacking at my hand. Why don't you? I'll be a great guitar player then.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
You said what?
Yeah. So I'm like, no thanks. But they're like so nonchalant about it. So I knew there had to be something in there. I actually had like windshield glass around where that was at. And windshield glass doesn't really shatter. So I'm just going to say like, it's tempered, like whatever for safety. But for some reason, like I will say that over 99% of that glass isn't going to shatter. Well, this was that, point whatever percent and it went in my pinky.
Oh.
So that piece of glass that was causing that, it doesn't cause pain anymore, but it's coming to the surface. Oh, no shit. It's going to make its way out. Dude. I can see it now.
Oh, my God. Are you just going to cut it one night and, like, fucking pry it out?
I'm trying to...
Because my wife will fucking do it right now, I promise you.
No.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'm trying to let nature do its thing.
Oh, man.
I think I'm going to eventually try to maybe help it out, but it looks like it's coming out on its own. It's freaky.
Well, I hope that you'll come back and do some more of these, man.
With all 10 digits.
With all 10 digits. Because it's official, man. You're a Porchvillian now. You're nice. one of the crew.
Honor.
So anytime, man. Anytime you want to come and hang out, talk about shit you got going on.
Oh yeah.
We're here.
Well, thanks, Nick. Thanks, Matt.
All right.
No, man. Thank you.
This has been another episode of the Porchville Podcast. Get over there to porchvillepod.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us on all your major places, all your
major shit.
What are they called? Platforms. God damn it! Find us on all your platforms. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share. Tell your friends about us. Send us some emails. Porchmail@porchvillepod.com. Shawn, thank you very much, brother. Matt,
thank you, man.
It's been a good night. We'll see you next time. Take care of your mental health. We love you. Bye-bye.